All right, Coach. Well, sunny Southern California is anything but on this afternoon. Gray skies and rain in the forecast here at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Oakland Raiders and our home team. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Carr. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13.
49, 49, guys. Mike, OP. I got you.
Shotgun now for Carr. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Let's go, baby. 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line. Ready? 18 data. Here we go. Watch that in. Tight end's right.
They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 34 yards there at a 1st down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. On the ground with Bryce Love, the former Stanford Cardinal. And Marquell Lee with a stop defensively.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
I don't think you got it, son. Check.
Out of the gun, Brissett. He'll get this to Eckler. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 3rd down, Brissett. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And a return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. On first down, they go with Jacobs again. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down now, it's Jacobs. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. From the gun, it's Carr. He'll find his running back. It's Jalen Richard. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard stripe.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Never ideal conditions in the snow for a kicker, but the first test on the opening drive, he passed it.
He certainly did. You know what the unit told me was their biggest issue playing in the snow? You just worry about something getting in your eye as the ball is snapped, and then you might miss it, and there goes 3 points off the board.
The Charger drive about to get going. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
A big play there for L.A. 41 yards on the ground. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Check safety, check safety. Hey, watch it, watch it. No take, spell.
Play fake, Brissett. Hunter Henry brings it in. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Here is Eckler. Finding room to the 20. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers have taken the lead. A good hold of these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been in an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission, that's their challenge, and you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now, win the game.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Carr to throw. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
And it's 3rd down.
Down. 180. Hey, 734.
49, guys. Mike, 49. Go. Check 3. Watch the safety trip.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And picked up by the Chargers. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, L.A. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
694. Get down.
Mike 57. Let's go.
Carr got his man complete over the middle. That's Flowers. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball to the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Eluding the pressure right. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Monday, down. 180.
Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll get it down here to the 43. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. And if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. On play action, it's Carr. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20.
Hey, we're good, we're good. 185.
Here's Carr. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Martin, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with, some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Flush to his right. Lets it go for Nelson. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Charger drive about to get going. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Almost unstoppable on the ground there as that one is good for 39. I don't think that's what the defensive coordinator had in mind there. You got him pinned back inside the 5, and then you let him rip off that long run.
You're already anticipating the film session, aren't you?
There's going to be some anger.
Yeah, it's not going to be at the greatest hits, is it? Because they didn't hit anyone on that play. Supposed to have them pinned back deep. Instead, they leave a big crack, a gaping hole, and guess what? They're in bad position right now.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, here's Love. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Here we go.
It's 3rd and long for Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cleveland Farrell in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Charles, what a slacker. 5 sacks last week. Took him all the way to the 2nd quarter to get one here in this one.
And just think about all the planning that went into this game to try and keep him from getting to the quarterback. After 1 quarter, maybe they exhaled and thought, hey, we got this. Oh, no, you don't. You got to come up with another plan, more looks, maybe even more bodies to keep him out of the backfield.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Throwing now is Carr. Got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. A gain there of 21 yards.
Here we go.
A gain of 21 yards. And the Raider 1st down.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Again, they'll throw with Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
29. 29.
Yeah.
49.
Carr to throw again. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
The Charger drive about to get going. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Now on 2nd and 16, Brissett. And now he'll turn, and off his back foot, he'll heave this deep. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
On 3rd down, this is Jackson. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Here's Ty Long now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Returnable here from the 38. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over.
Watch now. 36 to Mike. 180. Hey, we're good. 185. Check. Boost right feet. Check.
Carr now on 1st down. This will be caught. Tyrell Williams. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Carr now 8 of 17 so far, so under 50%, but he's got a 1st and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. The kick by Carlson is good. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. The first play of the second half, a big success, over 30 yards.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
Now Eckler. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Here we go. Hey, come on. He's tired of you. He's tired of us. Hey,
24.
49, check 49, check 49.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. Past the 20, 10, and the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown.
You see it all day. Pick.
Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted a tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Give them 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
They'll run on first down. It's Love. The tackle made by Nicholas Morrow.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
24 is the mic. Short. Back. Yeah. 99. Check 99. What do you go?
From the 39, Brissett escaping the pressure right. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
No. Mike spot.
From the gun, here's Brissett. He's airing it out for Williams. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Down. Blue 80.
Check, check. Let's go one more.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away this timing.
And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Carr now to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Flowers. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 30.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money. Throw right there to move the sticks.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Carr defers to Jacobs on the draw. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Carr on the bootleg. Flushed out right. He'll run it. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Carr can beat you in a lot of ways. The scramble there, a perfect example as he gets the 1st.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His 1st carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
Into the red zone, it's Carr. Eluding the pressure right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Flush to his right, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Carlson able to put this one through. And they take a 17-14 lead. So it's his third field goal now in the ball game, and they've needed his leg. This last one gives him the lead.
It's been a back-and-forth kind of a game, hasn't it? Now you got to tell your defense, guys, need you to make this stand up because we got the momentum going in the right direction, but we need you to make sure we carry it home.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
On first down, Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up first and goal.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal.
At the 7-yard line.
They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal.
7:34. March 49. Hey, Wahoo! Check, 9.
To throw is Carr. That's going to be caught by Williams for a Raiders touchdown.
Keep getting up the touchdown.
Tyrell Williams hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Makes the score Raiders 24.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This one taken from the 7. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36.
At their own 36-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6 at the 40-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Watch the curl, watch the curl, watch the curl. Kill. Whip. Watch the whip. Watch out. Any weapon. Undercrush.
To throw, Brissett. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Brissett from the gun on third. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's fourth. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first. Brissett now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Check 37. Check 37.
Watch the motion. Watch the motion. 24 is the mic. You.
Out of the gun, Brissett. Stepping up, he'll try and run. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at their 49-yard line.
To throw again on 2nd down. Brissett. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 27-yard line. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Running on first down, Eckler. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd and inches, Brissett. He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Jacobs now. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They will run the draw with Jacobs. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 down at the 33. Carr Carr gives to Richard. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd down.
When offenses dial up big shots downfield, they're not always for the guys out wide. Sometimes they want to go to their big target, deep downfield, and the defense breathes a sigh of relief. 50-50 balls, not easy to get away from the big targets.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Shotgun now for Carr. Throw right side going to be caught by Waller. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. Carr now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. On 1st down, Richard. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 22-yard line.
Monday, down. 180. Up, here we go. Up. 44, Mike, 44. You're not ready.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. That is caught inside the 5. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
No lead safe in the new NFL, but this score is really going to give them some needed breathing room.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th quarter, going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard and realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
On 2nd down, Brissett again. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Throwing, Brissett. He's got his target, it's Cobb. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 42. Brissett now just 8 of 16 thus far, 50%, but it's 1st and 10. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
They'll run on first down. Richard. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the fourth.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
This is Richard. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
We're good. 185.
So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got us.
Day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, in the field like,